Over on Sky Atlantic and Now TV, also arrived Thursday, the 20th of March. It's the return of crime drama Gangs of London. And here's a clip.
Last night, 600 people died. And it wasn't an accident.
What would you call it?
An attack.
London is at the feet of the criminal gangs. We'll know more. Your days of terrorizing the city are numbered.
Series 3 for this one, Hannah. Although each series is sort of self-contained, you do need to be up to speed with the characters and where they're at. For the uninitiated, it started with an undercover police officer played by Sope Dirisu called Elliot infiltrating this London crime family, the Wallaces. And at the beginning, Joe Cole from Peaky Blinders, who plays Sean, he took over the family business after his dad, who was played by Cole Meany, briefly, was killed. One of its USPs was extremely choreographed, but also very violent action scenes. So if that's not your cup of tea, you may not be keen on it, but I do like it. And then in season 2, they had this terrifying baddie who used to make his victims swallow very large bullets. Anyway, so quite a lot of weird stuff going on. Yeah, lots of guns and knives and people even being beaten to death with an ashtray or killed with darts. All sorts of stuff going on. The big news this time around is that Elliot, he's kind of really cut his ties now with the police, and he's become a genuine mob boss, drug dealer. And at the beginning of season 3, there's a batch of coke has been tampered with, and hundreds of people are poisoned as a result. So that's the first thing, which means that he's sort of public enemy number one in terms of the mayor of London, who's a new character, but also the rival gangs, one of whose leaders has lost a daughter to this tainted cocaine. They're out to get him as well. There are also some very interesting new additions to the cast. One of my all-time favourites, Richard Dormer, who you may have seen in the brilliant Sky series Fortitude, but also in the crime drama Blue Lights, where his catchphrase is "Sniggy Biggy." He's very good. He plays an Irishman who we first meet at a deserted fairground, where there's a big showdown, of course, including a shootout in the Hall of Mirrors, bit James Bond, and his weapon of choice is the old shillelagh. So yeah, he's in it, and also Phil Daniels, who's done so much stuff over the years, hasn't he? Since Quadrophenia. He also joins, and he helps Sean out, and Sean's in a bind. One little niggle I have with this franchise is that they've got a bit of a habit of making you think someone's being killed, and then they bring them back in the next series. I wish they'd stop doing that. But yeah, I mean, I do like it. And I think Dirisu is great. He's a real kind of brooding character who doesn't say much, but he emotes a lot with his acting. So, yeah, I mean, if you like it, it's more of the same. There's also a kind of interesting new sort of implacable assassin character called Zeke, who is actually played by a martial arts expert, Andrew Koji, who was in Warrior. So yeah, I'm looking forward. There's obviously going to be a big showdown between him and Elliot, and that will be good. It's also, I think it's a Korean director has taken over who does have a bit of a background in martial arts films. So if it's your kind of thing, you're going to love it, but it's not for everyone, I would say. Is it for you, Hannah?
Well, no, it's not naturally something I would choose, but I do quite like the character of Elliot. And I think it does shine a bit of a spotlight on kind of this sort of really competitive criminal world, and going from hero to zero very, very quickly, and what that actually looks like. Does that put anyone off? Are you kind of born into that world? Do you join that world and you can't get out? I don't know. I'm not part of it, but I would imagine once you're in it, it's very, very hard to get out, and you're kind of, then you become, prime target number one. But I think that part is played pretty well. I know what you mean about the dying and coming back, and I think although they are isolated, I think it's a good idea to kind of have watched some of the previous, so that you know exactly, I suppose, the kind of history of the characters in it. But yeah, it's a bit, it's not what I would choose.